Excellent. Well, welcome. I think everybody who's booked on is here, so I don't need to say the whole spiel about watching on the catch up. So we're going to get started. Welcome to your week, and it's a lovely morning here in Edinburgh. So I hope it's looking promising where you are as well. Right. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So in terms of props today, I think got a little bit to do in kneeling. So if you're able to have a blanket, that'd be really great. And a foam block and a brick. Okay. We'll do a little bit with half moon pose at some point. So if you want to have a brick for that, then please do. Okay. So make sure you've got your little bits and pieces nearby. Or just a good stack of cushions is always quite good as well. Okay. So we'll get started. I was wondering how it would feel to start in child's pose. So if you want to, you can take your blanket on your mat and kneel on that. I'm just going to close this door. Actually, we will have a bit to do on the knees, so I'm just going to actually have my blanket here for a little bit. Okay. So let's just come and sit back onto the heels. And if this just doesn't feel right for your knees, then you might just prefer to lie down. Okay. Or another version you can do is where you don't go back onto the heels. You keep your hips above your knees and you can come more into this kind of shape. Yeah, just so you're keeping that deep flexion out of the knees and also out of the hips. Sometimes child's pose can just get a bit pinchy in the hips. Okay. So see how you feel. I'm going to take my hips back towards my heels and let the knees reasonably wide. And this should hopefully feel, just quite settling. If it doesn't, please make your adjustments. So you're very welcome to make a little rest for your head, one hand on top of the other. And then you can allow your forehead to rest gently onto the back of the top hand. And I invite you to take a full breath, guiding the inhale all the way in. And a gentle sigh out through the mouth. And again, inviting that full inhale. And the exhale, following the exhale all the way to the end. So see how it feels to adjust your elbows a little bit. So you can just soften the area a little more at the back of the heart. And for the next couple of breaths, I'd like to invite you to send the breath into the space, really in the back of the body, towards the backs of the lungs. And then the next couple of breaths, you can send the breath towards the sides of the torso. Taking the breath into the side ribs. Just a couple more breaths right here, and just feel free to just take any little movements if you need to. And then when you're ready, let's reach the arms forward and rock up onto the hands and knees. Inhale to roll the heart forward. And exhale to round the back, pushing into the hands, doming the back. Great. Inhale to roll the heart forward. And exhale, pressing into the hands, rounding the back. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale to round. Inhale to roll the heart forward. And then this time as you exhale, feel free to push back into either child's pose or downward dog to see how you feel. If you wanted to come into downward dog, you can always tread through the legs a little bit. Nice. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to come back down to kneeling. All right, so lower back down, hands and knees. And let's just come on up to this raised kneeling position from here. Okay, so just feel free to release out your wrists, so give them some circles. And we'll just do a couple of rounds of kneeling salutations. So see how you feel, okay? Either you can start from up here, okay? Or if it's okay for your knees, you can start from this kneeling shape, okay? So whatever works for you. If you don't want to sit back on the heels, just always keep yourself lifted, okay? So together, just give yourself a moment. Really find that connection into your shins. And it's like you could almost press the floor away, okay? Put that lovely foundation into the lower body. And with your next inhale, press into your shins some more. Lift the hips off of the heels and raise the arms. And exhale, we'll fold forward all the way down, either to hands and knees or to this long child's pose. Inhale, come up and through, hands and knees. Roll the heart forward, inhaling. And exhale, tuck the toes and come back into downward facing dog. And again, you can tread through the legs, just that gentle waking up of the hamstrings, of the body. Let's come to a high plank from here. So you might have to wriggle your feet back a little and then inhale, come to your high plank. Exhale, stay. Inhale, come back to the knees and lift the chest. And with the exhale, back to your child's pose or dome the back, okay? Inhale, let's come back up to raised kneeling. So come up onto the shins, lift the arms, lift the gaze. And exhale, either sit back on your heels or keep the hips lifted, and we'll lower the arms on the exhale. Great. Okay, let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, let your navel gently move towards the spine as you fold. And land your hands to the mat. Inhale, hands and knees, roll the heart forward. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, just right here. Exhaling fully. Inhale, come into your high plank. Exhale, stay right here. Inhale, hands and knees. Lift the chest. And exhale for this one, let's round the back. Come back to a neutral position with the spine. Once again, if you need to circle the wrists, go ahead, yeah? I find as I'm getting older, I need to take more time to do that, okay? That's just a little sharing on my part. It's interesting how things change. Right, so from here, let's reach back with the left leg. So you'll keep the left toes tucked under, okay? And just have a quick look, right? So you want to make sure that your left knee is pointing straight down towards the mat, okay? So often the leg wants to turn out, so you want to avoid that. Yeah, knee pointing straight down. Feel free to take your left hand out a little further to the left for stability. And then reach your right hand and rest it on the mat as well. So you've got right fingertips, left toes on the mat. And with the in-breath, raising, right arm, left leg. Exhale to lower, just lightly touch. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower and just lightly touch. Inhale, one more. Good. Exhale, lower hand, lower knee down. Okay, don't worry if you're feeling wobbly in that section. It's quite challenging on the balance. So let's take the right toes back now. Have a quick look. So you're letting that right knee point straight down towards the mat. Okay, that's a slight inward rotation of the back leg. And then the left fingertips resting on the mat. Set up your base and then inhale. Maybe lift. Exhale, we lightly touch. Twice more. Last one. Keep that right knee pointing straight down. It's quite tricky. And exhale, lower hand, lower knee down. Okay, let's just come back up to the raised kneeling. Circling the wrists. A couple of times one way, a couple of times the other. Let's just stay up here. Taking the arms up on the inhale. Opening through the front body, and with the exhale, let's come forward. Inhale to the hands and knees, roll the heart forward. And exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Find your inhale right here. Finding your exhale as you push the floor away with the hands. Next in breath, let's take the right foot up, deep inhale. Exhale, step the right foot towards the hand, so you can draw the knee towards the nose if you like, and then plant the foot down. Give the foot a good nudgy if you like. And we'll get ready to come into a high lunge from here. So let's really find the feet, connecting deep into the front foot. Inhale. Hands to hips or reach the arms up. Exhale, little bend to the back knee. Inhale to lift the chest, the tailbone moves under. And then turning to your right, exhale, opening the arms to shoulder height. Just one full inhale right here. Good. Full exhale. That's nice. Inhale, now take the right arm forward. Both arms reach up. And exhale, place the hands down to your mat. And come into downward facing dog. Press it back. Nice. Let's just take a high plank. Inhale to your high plank. Exhale and stay. Inhale just where you are. And then exhale, hips high, coming back, downward facing dog. Okay, second side. So let's take the left foot up. Inhale. Exhale, stepping it through. Knee can move towards the nose if you like. Okay, so finding your feet. Inhale. And exhale, you stay. Softening into that back knee. Tailbone can gently move under. Nice. Deep inhale right here. And then turning now to your left. Exhale. Full inhale. Full exhale. Inhale. Come back to center. Reaching the arms up. Now this time on the exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. We'll step the back foot forward. And then fold in over the legs, exhaling. Inhale, press into the feet, come all the way up to stand. Lift the chest a little, lift the gaze. And exhale, bring the hands down through prayer pose. 3 breaths just right here. See how it feels to lift your toes from the mat. Spread them wide. Releasing them all the way down. Then you can release the arms if you haven't done so already. And the next in breath, let's breathe the arms up. Now stay right here and please take the left hand onto the right wrist. I'll just turn my back to you for a sec. Inhale, we're going to lean over to the left and press the hips a little bit to the right. And exhale back to center, change the grip. Inhale, leaning over to your right. And exhale back to center. Inhale, release the hands and lift the gaze. And with the exhale, folding forward, all the way down. Movement following your breath. Inhale, coming halfway, lengthen through your spine. The exhale, bending your knees, left foot stepping back, ready for a high lunge. Inhale, press into the feet, rooting down into the lower body, lift the gaze. Good. Exhale, that's great. Hands to your mat and come into downward facing dog. Now you might want to keep your blanket under your hips. I'm just going to get rid of mine, just because it tends to misalign my lower back. So from here, let's come to a high plank, inhale. And then we're going to come all the way to the belly. So you can do knees, chest, chin, and lower to the front. Let's take the little cobra locust move that we were playing with last week. And we'll take the hands into cobra. Elbows can move in. Falling into your pelvis. Inhale, lift the head, the chest, and the legs. And exhale to lower. 3 more times. Inhale. And exhale to lower. You can even do it with the hands off if you like. Inhale. Don't worry about how high you go. Exhale to lower. 1 more. Now this time as you exhale to stay, maybe put your hands down if they're off. Inhale, push into your hands. The feet will start to touch down. Lift the chest a little. And then exhale, coming back via a little child's pose. Exhale. You might want to stay there. Or you might prefer to come into downward facing dog. See how you feel. Nice. Steady inhale right here. And a steady exhale. So the next in-breath, we can take the right foot up again. Deep inhale. Exhale, stepping it through. You can place knee or send knee towards the nose if you like. And then place the foot down, adjusting as much as you like. Inhale. Press into your feet. All the way back up. High lunge. Exhale and we stay. Now let's separate the hands a little wider. So you're kind of a wide V with the arms. The in-breath, really rising into your chest. Exhale, just exploring the support of the feet and the legs. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, hands to your mat. Let's find that high plank again. And then lower all the way to the front body. We'll do our cobra locust thing once again. Okay, so let's go. Inhale, we lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale to lift. Now stay right there. Exhaling. Inhale, pressing into your hands, feet touch down, lift a little more with the chest. And then exhale, little child's pose. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot lifts, inhale. Exhale, taking it through. Find the foundations of your feet. Spreading out into your toes. Inhale, come on up. A wide V with the arms. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale, finding your feet and your legs. Just 1 more breath. Nice. On the next exhale, bring the hands down. So it's up to you, okay? You can either go plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, or maybe you prefer to come back to downward dog. And we'll all meet right here, okay? So you're just tuning in to your energy, of course, as you all know. Steady, steady breath. Okay, from here, let's come to kneeling. Exhaling. I'm going to quickly grab my cork break. So we're going to come into a variation of Sirsasana with the knee down. So this, what side you do depends where you are on your mat. Okay. So I'd like to face you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach my leg nearest my device back. Then I'm going to turn around and face you. Okay. So for the first side, if you might want to face so you can see what you're doing. Okay. Nice. So the bottom leg is a little bit like a kickstand. You've just angled that bottom foot back a little bit. And then here we've got, well, you might not want a brick, okay? But you might want to place a brick under the hand. Wonderful. And then planting the sole of the straight leg foot down into the earth, okay? Here we are, tailbone can move in. The next inhale can sweep the top arm up and over. Take a moment to reach through that top arm. Good. And as you exhale, sweep the arm back onto the lower back. And you can turn the head to look down. This next one, let's take the top arm up and over. Now press into the hand, the shin and the foot. And see how it feels this time to almost dome the side body. Inhale. And exhale, sweep it back. Turning the head to look down. One more, inhale. Nice. And exhale. Now from here, start to send the weight. Well, actually, you stay right here, okay? Or if you prefer, you can send the weight a little bit more towards this side. And you might find you like to raise this leg, okay? Nice. That'll be the extended leg, not the one you're kneeling on, okay? Now really flex out through that raised foot if it's lifting. Excellent. One more deep inhale, just right here. And then when you're ready, let's exhale. We'll all meet back on the hands and knees. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, either child's pose or downward dog, hips high. Back to the high plank on the in-breath. Deep inhale. And then to the hands and knees, exhale. So second side, okay, I've just spun myself around, so I'm still going to face you. So the other leg will go back. Turning to face whatever way is going to work for you. Planting the foot of the straight leg down. Nice. And you can rest the top hand just on the lower back. Tailbone moving under. And the in-breath can open that top arm up and over. Find that in-breath. Exhale, sweep it back. And you can look down with a hand on the back. Okay, twice more. This time we have an invitation to dome the side body. Inhale. And exhale. And again. Inhale. Press into your supports, doming the side body. And exhale. Inhale, just reaching the top arm up. If you'd like to, start to shift the weight a little bit more towards the hand end of the mat. And then here we are. Staying with your breath. One more inhale. And then when you're ready, exhale. Let's come all the way out. Hands and knees. Inhale, lifting the chest. And exhale, downward facing dog, pressing into the earth. So you decide, okay, if you'd like to, you can inhale to plank. Exhale, knees up or down. If not, pause in child's pose or pause in downward dog, okay? Inhale, could be a little cobra, shoulders roll back and down. Send the heart through the upper arms. And exhale. Either meet child's pose or downward dog. Breathing. Full inhale right here. Full exhale. Now, if you're in child's pose, let's all meet either hands and knees or downward dog. Inhale, right foot lifts. Exhale, stepping it through for a high lunge. Find your feet. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, back foot stepping forward. And we fold in on the exhale. Let's inhale, bend the knees this time. Come to Utkatasana, so sinking into your heels. Breathing the arms up, lifting the chest. And then this time back to standing, exhale. Here we are. So let's pause here for 5 complete breaths. You might want to place your hands on your body. If the mind has moved, that's okay. See what you can do to come back to your breath. Okay, release the arms if they're on your body. Let the eyes open, and the in-breath can take the arms up. And then stay right there, left hand to right wrist. Inhale, leaning to your left, maybe the hips go to the right a little more. And exhale back to center, change the grip. Inhale, up and over to your right. And exhale back to center. Inhale, lift the gaze, release the hand. Exhale to fall forward. Inhale to lengthen through your spine, pressing into your feet. Exhale, bend the knees, right foot stepping back to your high lunge. Inhale, press into the roots, come on up. And as you exhale, that's great. Hands to the mat. Nice, and come into downward facing dog. Inhale to your high plank. Exhale all the way to the belly. Okay, one more time with this move, the locusty cobra. So hands can place right here. And with the in-breath, let's go. Lifting, shoulders roll back and down. Exhale. Inhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale, stay right there. Exhale. Inhale, press into the hands, feet touch down. Shoulders roll back and down as you lift the chest. And exhale, maybe it's child's pose first. Perhaps you'd like to stay there. Or it's downward dog. Next inhale, when you're ready, either from kneeling or downward dog, right foot lifts. Exhale, stepping it through. And then the back knee can come down. Okay, I'm going to use my blanket for this. Okay, so from here, as you find the hips are getting a little bit warmer, let's just explore how it feels just to sink the hips a little bit lower, but like you're imprinting that front foot down into the earth, so you're feeling very, very held. Quite an interesting dual energy going on there, sinking and pressing. So from here, let's take the left arm up. Right hand can rest onto thigh or forearm to thigh, and then leaning over to your right. Nice. Great, steady breath. In fact, another thing you could do if it works is you can take the right hand to the left wrist and you can then lean a little bit. Tailbone moving under. One more in breath. And then from here, exhale, we'll place the left hand down. Inhale just where you are. Another spiral on the exhale. So you can either wrap the right arm behind the back. It might prefer to reach up to the ceiling. And then you have the option of tucking your back toes and pressing away through your back heel as the back knee lifts. One more inhale right here. Good. And as you exhale, let's undo that. Very nice. And you can release it and then come on out. So it's up to you. You might be really happy coming to your knees. Swinging around. Maybe you want to come back to downward dog and do plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Okay. We've all had different types of weekends. We're all feeling different on a Monday morning. So you just need to tune into that. Okay, so let's get ready for the second side. So either from kneeling or from downward dog. I'll take the left foot up, inhale, and exhale, let's step it through. Great, coming on up from here, lovely. So find your foundations, pressing into the left foot, maximizing the size of the left foot, and the pelvis might sink. Here, forearm to thigh, inhale, right arm over, tailbone heavy, exhale. Option here to take left hand to right wrist, and just see how that feels. One more inhale. And then from here, exhale, let's release that, bringing the right hand down. Inhale where you are. And exhale, spiraling around to the left. Breathing there, good. Smoothing breath. Smooth out breath. Nice, one more deep inhale. And with the exhale, let's release that. Come on out, hands and knees. See how you feel. Maybe a bit of movement. Perhaps like to go back to downward dog. Once again, you have that option to either remain there or you can do inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees up or down to chaturanga. Inhale to your cobra. And exhale, come on back. To your downward facing dog. Okay, so from here, let's take the right leg, lift the right leg up, or the right foot up. With the exhale, stepping it forward once again. And this time, we'll put the back heel down. And let's just come on up. So, just for a moment, let's lengthen through the front leg a little bit. Just keep it quite relaxed. And then we'll just find our base. So we're going to come into warrior one. I just want to get a set, first of all. Excellent. Okay, so you've got a nice, stable base. Connecting deep into the feet. And you can take the arms by the side of the body, not the legs. And with the next inhale, bending into the front leg, breathing the arms up. And with the exhale, straighten the leg and breathe the arms down. Great. Let's go again. Inhale, twice more. Now from here, we'll come back into warrior one, but we're going to transition to warrior three, if it feels appropriate today. I need to move back a bit, or I'm going to end up sticking my head through the door. So coming back into warrior one. Now take your time. I like to bring my hands to my hips and start to pitch off the back leg. A little micro bound to that front leg. Connecting deep into the front foot. And as you raise the back leg, the arms might reach back or forward or sideways. Keep breathing. Now see how it feels to keep that raised leg knee, the left knee, pointing down towards your mat like you did earlier. One more in breath. Good. As you exhale, let's come back, landing in warrior one. Good. Inhale. And exhale, hands to the mat. So either downward dog or come to the knees. And extend back. Full exhale. That's great. Okay, second side. So now from here, we can meet in downward dog or kneeling. Inhale, left foot lift. Exhale, stepping it through. Just come on up. So start to just lengthen through that front leg, yeah? Get your foundation set. Arms by your side. Then from here, inhale, bend to the front leg, breathe the arms up. Exhale, straighten. Good, inhale. That breath is breathing you, exhale. In. Okay, so this time we'll come back into warrior one. You're welcome to stay there for a few more breaths, or start to pitch yourself into warrior three. So right leg, right knee pointing straight down towards your mat. As much as you can. It's tricky. One more inhale. And then from here, let's lower, let's come into a forward fold, yeah? So we're just release the leg down, bend both knees, and close inward here. And exhaling. Let's wriggle the feet a little bit wider, just a little bit. So they're kind of just a little bit wider than the shoulders, okay? Keep a nice bend to the knees as much as you want, okay? And then from here, walk the hands forward slightly. So this is a kind of a bit of a weird shape. And then we'll walk the hands over to the right side. And just take a bit of a lean, like press through your left hip. See how that feels there in the body. One full inhale, one full exhale. Okay, second side. So you can walk the hands over, left, a little bit of a lean. Okay, coming back to center. Just wriggle the feet a little bit closer so they're kind of hip width apart. Let's bend the knees. We're going to roll up to standing. Okay, so start to roll up, heavy arms. As you make your journey all the way back up, you can link the fingers, turn the palms away, and just take this openness through the front body. And exhale. Here we are. Let's pause. 3 complete breaths right here. Okay, so when you're ready, just let the arms go. So let's step out. We're going to face the long edge of the mat. And you might want your break. Now, I'm just hesitating there because I was going to suggest that if you have the luxury of a bare wall, if I was in my house, I don't have any spare walls in my house. Yeah, stuff everywhere. But if you've got a luxury of something like this, you might want to do your next posture against the wall, okay? And then you've got it there for the Ardha Chandrasana as well, okay? So it's up to you, okay? And if you don't have the wall, that's okay, yeah, because you guys are all familiar with this, yeah. So why not? Let's take the feet a good leg length apart. Gonna move myself away from the door slightly. Okay. So I'll demo it on the wall, and if you feel like you want to move out a shot to do it on the wall, that's cool, okay? So from here, let's turn the right toes out, left toes in. So first of all, let's inhale, take the arms wide. We're going to move, and actually let's come into the big star, why not? Inhale, and then exhale, landing in warrior two. You'll be bending that leg. Nice. And again, inhale, straighten through the leg and breathe the arms up. And exhale, landing back into warrior two. Inhale, straighten again. And exhale. Okay, now from warrior two, bringing the left hand onto the left hip. You can use your brick if you like. Start to pitch the weight over into your standing leg and take a bit of a run up. Take the hand to the brick or the pads of the fingers to the brick, and then you can reach up to the sky. Now, if you've got the luxurious walls, you can put your heel against the wall. All right, and then if you want to open up, go ahead and do that, okay? Stay with your inhale, good. Stay with your exhale. Superb, everybody. Okay, one more deep inhale. Then it's exhale, bring the brick with you if you've got it. Exhale, lower the leg and bring that brick up. Come all the way back up to stand. Nice, toes forward. And you can just pause right there. Maybe that reassuring moment of holding the brick on the belly. All right, we'll go to the second side. We'll move over a bit. I'm still clutching onto my brick for dear life there. Right. From here, oops. As you inhale, let's reach your hands up. And exhale, landing back into warrior two. Nice. Twice more. Inhale, pressing into the roots. And exhale, we're landing. Good. Inhale again. And exhale, we land. So when you're ready, bringing the right hand onto the right hip, then you can start to pitch yourself. I like to take my brick so it's not under my shoulder. I like to extend it quite far away. And here we are. And breathe. Nice. Okay, I'm going to have that micro bend to your standing leg to give security. One more deep inhale. Very nice. As you exhale, let's lower. Bring the brick with you if you like. Come on out. We'll straighten through the legs. And let's pause right here. Okay, nice. Feel free to place the brick down, and as you inhale, hands to your hips, shoulder blades roll together on the back of the body. And with the exhale, let's fold. Now you can always bring your head or your hands onto your brick if you want, or you don't have to worry about it at all. Here we are, just a few breaths in Prasarita. Full inhale, good. Full exhale. Nice, and then from here, lengthen through your spine, send the gaze forward. Let's walk the hands all the way towards the front of your mat. And then coming back, so either a downward dog or to kneeling. Option of child's pose or an option of going through a vinyasa if you want to go there, okay? Just listen to what you need. Okay, great. So from here, I'd like to invite you to get ready to come into Malasana squat. I don't teach this one often because I don't really like it, just in my own body. However, I know it's a very popular posture and I shouldn't deprive you guys of it, okay? So if you are a happy squatter, you bring your feet probably about mat width apart, toes can turn out, and then you drop the hips down. You can take the outer arms, or the upper arms rather, to the inner legs. Okay, here we are. Now, if you're like me and you're not a happy squatter, what you can do is you can get your blanket, make it into like a little chunky fold, and then put your heels in that blanket, and it might just feel a lot more accessible. Okay, here we are. Nice. Stay with your breath. Now we can either stay here for a few more breaths, or we can explore this next move. Now, just a quick warning is I find this very difficult, but you might not. Okay. The next move is to come up to standing. Okay. So you'll inhale, you'll press into your feet. I need to tip my body forward a little bit. Inhale, come on up, reach high. Excellent. And exhale, now sink back down again. So if you want, if your knees feel okay with that, let's do it twice more. Inhale. Really press into the floor with the feet and exhale. Good. Inhale all the way up. Maybe lift the gaze. Just feel really joyful that you made it up there. And then exhale. Sink back down. All right. Nice. Another full in breath. And then from here, we can just simply sit down on the mat. Okay. From here, so you might want to take the hands behind you, lower the hips, and then just extend the legs out. Well, that was exciting. All right. So we're maybe shake out the legs if you wish. All right. You might want to take that little windscreen wiper movement. Great. Okay. Extend the legs long from here. And then we can take that, if you want to, you could always put a little something underneath the sitting bones. Yeah, if that works for you, maybe your folded blanket or your block. And then we'll bend the right leg in. Just a little janu sirsasana. So we'll take the arms up on the in-breath. And with the exhale, how about let's fold a third of the way into the posture, just a third. So a little lean. Inhale, we're up. And exhale, 2/3. Inhale to come up. And exhale now. Pass through both these gateways. Into the posture. Inhale, lengthen through your spine to lift the heart. And exhale, just a few breaths right here. See how it feels to really invite that right side of the ribcage around the face, or around towards, I should say, the left leg. Another breath. Inhale to lengthen your spine, send the gaze forward. Exhale, let's release that. Both legs long. Maybe a moment here, you can always just take the hands behind you. Fingers can turn away, and you're on the pads of the fingers. And the in-breath can lift the chest. The exhale can release. And let's bend the left leg. Nice. Inhale. Take the arms up. And a third of the way. Exhale. Inhale, we're up. Good. And exhale, 2/3. Inhale. And then passing through both these gateways. Coming into the posture. Inhale to lighten your spine, sending the gaze forward. And exhale to fold. Soften the hinge of the jaw. Little space between your teeth. And explore the process, the journey of the posture. Inhale to lengthen your spine, send the gaze forward. Exhale, let's release that. Both legs long. Then once again, just take the hands behind you, shoulder blades can roll together on the back. You can also keep the knees bent, yeah? And lift the top. Okay, when you're ready, let's come and lie down from here. Coming onto the back of the body. So from here, let's inhale together, knees are bent, feet flat on the mat. Exhale, pressing into your feet, rolling up into your bridge. Inhale, just gently press into your feet a little more. You might notice you lift a little bit more on the in-breath. And as you exhale, let's snake down, vertebra at a time, rolling down through your spine. Twice more. Inhale where you are. Moving on the exhale, pressing deep into your feet. Now it's like you're being carried. Inhale. And exhale to snake down. Inhale. Exhaling, rolling up. Inhale, let yourself be carried. And exhale to roll back. Let's hug the knees in now for Apanasana. So just feel free here to place your hands over your knees, or you can go either over the top or around the side. The in-breath can separate the thighs from the belly. Knees move forward. And as you exhale, hug the thighs towards the belly, hug the knees in. You might want to flex your feet as you do that. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. It could be quite nice to lift the head as well. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, let's release it. And then from here, exhale fully. And just before we find Shavasana, if there's anything else that you'd like to do, then just give yourself a couple of moments to do any other movement that might be good for your body or your heart or your mood. Just listen to yourself. And before you find your way into Shavasana, you might feel inclined just to take a big stretch through the body. And then you can release into Shavasana. Finding the back of the body, connecting and releasing down into the earth. With every exhalation, just see if you can soften just a little bit more. Breathing in peace. And breathing out peace. Just a little poem here to close up Shavasana. This is by William Stafford, and it's called You Reading This, Be Ready. Starting here, what do you want to remember? How sunlight creeps along a shining floor? What scent of old wood hovers? What softened sound from outside fills the air? Will you ever bring a better gift for the world than the breathing respect that you carry wherever you go right now? Are you waiting for time to show you some better thoughts? When you turn around, starting here, lift this new glimpse that you found. Carry into evening all that you want from this day. This interval you spent reading or hearing this, keep it for life. What can anyone give you greater than now? Starting here, right in your room, when you turn around. So from here, you can just gently hug the knees in. Maybe a little roll around, see how you feel. Maybe a big stretch, and just take time. Let's all find the way back to sitting whenever you're ready. That's great. So just to round off our practice, I'd just like to invite you to take just a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana. So that's the alternate nostril breathing. Just talk you through it. So you can take the right hand and take the index finger, middle finger, either into the palm of the hand, or you might be more comfortable with them up resting onto the forehead. Okay. Either way, you're using your thumb and your ring finger just to gently close up the, well, some folks say nostrils. I tend to take it a little higher. I close up the area where the cartilage opens into the nose, okay? So you'll find your comfort with that. So we'll just start, first of all, if you feel you want to support the elbow, go ahead, yeah. So let's gently close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the right. Sorry, inhale through the left, rather. Closing the left, opening the right, exhale right. Inhale right. Closing right, opening left, exhale left. Inhale left. Closing the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Closing right, exhale left. Just once more each side. Inhale left. Closing up, exhale left. Inhale right. And exhale left. Gently lower the hand. And now trace the breath in through both nostrils and out through both. Bringing the hands together, inhaling through both. Maybe a sigh. Take one on together. Let's inhale. And may all beings know peace and know love and be free from suffering. And may we all teach peace by example. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. Lovely practice. And lovely to see you.